my name is Emma, and then this is my pet Ball Python Blaise. So this is also my friend and coworker Jennifer. She's going to be holding Blaise, and I tell you a few fun facts and some snake husbandry tips. So first of all, Blaise is a species called a ball python. So that means their primary defense when they feel threatened is just to ball up, and they'll hide in something like a cave or like a termite mound, something like that. He's a little brightly colored for a snake. Granted, he is in shed right now, but he's what I would call, so he's captive bred and he has two different morphs in him.
What does in shed mean?
In shed is when he's ready to shed out his skin that kind of looks like what's in here.
Oh, cool. How often do they do that?
So they typically do it about once a month, and it comes out
wow.
like this. And you can see his pattern in it and stuff like that, and you can gauge how much they're growing. You can tell a lot in a shed, and it depends mainly on what they eat and how often. But yeah, so that's kind of what his shed
I didn't know they
looks
did
like.
it so often.
Yeah, he goes pretty regularly, but those are two of his sheds. And Blaise is what's called a firefly, so he's a pastel and a fire. So that's what represents that bright yellow pigmentation in him. So that's why he's so bright, whereas normal ball pythons morphs would be more kind of green, brown to fit in with their environment. So with a little kind of basic information on him, he is native to West Africa. So he would be hiding out in termite mounds, around savannas, stuff like that. He wouldn't really come out until the night because he is nocturnal. So he wouldn't, he's kind of like your hedgehog because she's nocturnal. But yeah, his scientific name is Python regius, which you can tell by their scientific name if they're venomous or not. So a lot of people get venomous and poisonous confused. Do you know what the difference between them is?
I'm guessing poisonous would be something bad that would like hurt you, but venom is something that probably protects them. I don't know. No?
So the venom, you are right in that it does protect them. So poison would be something that if you ate it would be deadly. And then if for venom, what it means to be a venomous snake is if they bit you, they have venom in that bite, and that would hurt you or cause serious injuries or death, stuff like that. So that's kind of the difference. And that's very important to know just for any snake in general, to know whether they can hurt you or not. Blaise is non-venomous. He's never bitten anybody. He's all right. But yeah, so a lot of people get confused about that. And then, so remember that word I used, morph? So do you know how many of those are just in the ball python community?
Goodness. Probably a lot. So this would be like where breeders are more like using, if I take a guess, and this is ball python, 212. Too many?
No, not enough. There's 7,243 and counting. There are a lot of morphs. And then, so those are just the different color and pattern combos of a ball python. There are more than 3,000 different species of snakes worldwide, although there are 5 different places in the world that snakes actually won't go to. So the first Antarctica, that's kind of easy, but like Iceland, Ireland, Greenland, and New Zealand.
Really?
They won't go there because their temperatures are off. There's just stuff that they can sense that they don't really care for. And then I've got 2 more questions.
Okay.
What species of snake do you think is the longest out of all of them?
Anaconda?
That's not quite. Reticulated python. They can get up to 30 feet long.
Right now?
No,
You're
he's
doing
all right.
a weird movement.
No, he's just kind of sniffing around. He's feeling.
It feels very interesting. He does some shifting. He feels really cool. It's kind of like a leather purse.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not like.
Yeah, he feels really cool. I mean, I thought he was going to feel drier.
Right.
Or like more scaly. And he feels, really nice. Like it's almost like do you put lotion on him?
No, I keep up his humidity in his tank.
Okay.
So that way he stays well hydrated. He'll actually soak in his water dish. He'll put himself in it when he's shedding.
Right.
So
Because he feels like buddy, are you shopping at Bath and Body Works? I mean, he feels nice, but
yeah, he's very comfortable
Yeah.
to hold.
yeah, but it's weird because his head shifts around a lot.
Yeah, he's
So it's
taking in
kinda like-
everything. And while he's in shed right now, his eyes are kind of blurry.
Uh-huh.
He can't see as much, so he's relying more on like his sense of smell.
Uh-huh.
And he's got heat pits that line across the bottom of his face. They're open holes. And they take in heat signatures. They
Okay.
realize kind of what's food, what's not food.
Okay, so here's a question for you. You said he has legs.
Yes.
What?
So, contrary to popular belief, snakes actually do have legs. Back by his tail, we'll try and social distance do this.
Okay,
But with his tail, wherever it is,
it's right here.
I feel it kind
Sorry.
of. No, you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put that on there. So by his cloaca, if he's gonna
No,
let me see
don't
it.
upset him.
No, he's okay. He's
What's
got
a cloaca?
It's basically like his butt.
Oh, okay.
But he's got little, kind of like thorns or discolored
Okay.
little legs that stick out of there.
Gotta get him some shoes.
Yeah.
They're a
but,
runner.
Do you see kind of like over here? It sticks out a little bit.
Nice.
It's hidden under that scale.
He's got short legs like me.
Yeah, he's got little tiny legs that are hiding under his
Okay,
scale.
cool.
And those they used to have, I guess, long legs for land, but
Okay.
that was in prehistoric times. Now they've evolved enough where they don't really use their legs. They can just get along with sensations and movement and heat pits.
Cool. Well, I did not know that before
Yeah.
I met you and you got your snake that they had legs.
Yeah, I was really surprised. At first, I thought everybody was lying to me
Well, yeah.
until I looked, and then I was like, wait.
Cool.
But
He
yeah.
does have some orange on him, it looks like a little bit of kind of rusty color there.
Yeah, that's part of the pastel.
I feel like you're looking at me.
He's probably just like, what's going on?
I know. Well, you're famous now, Blaise. You're headed for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Alright.
You mentioned the anaconda earlier.
Okay, yep.
So that is actually the heaviest snake in the
Okay.
world. They can get up to 500 pounds. They are massive.
Yeah.
I want to own one in the future, but not right now.
Man. Yeah, well, I'm not coming over to your house.
But transitioning from kind of the facts, then we'll get into more of like the husbandry,
Okay.
which is kind of how to take care of them. So for an enclosure, you're going to need different requirements for different species. For a ball python, you can have a glass tank, you can have a container like this, you can have a rack system where you can put a bunch of them in slots. I personally have a tank. This is just his transport bin. I have a 55-gallon tank at home with a nice stand, and I like that better, but it's more depending on like your costs and your budget and stuff like that.
I'm guessing that they're happier probably in something bigger.
Yeah, I mean,
That looks like that, if you had something like that, that would, they probably wouldn't be very happy in that for long term.
no, especially Blaise, I've been told he's a bit stranger than most ball pythons in the sense that he goes up, he goes everywhere, he likes to hang out and chill with me, which ball pythons are typically very shy animals. They don't like to socialize that much, but Blaise is actually kind of an exception to that. He loves to just
What's he
roam
doing right
around.
now?
He might just want to go and kind of get closer to your heart, like your neck
Oh.
with like the heat. He might be searching for heat.
Okay.
And he might go in your sleeve, or he might kind of curl up under your
Oh,
sweater.
oh my.
He likes his blankets.
Well,
But yeah, so he
Okay.
just kind of hangs out there.
well, just as long as you don't wrap yourself around my neck.
Nah.
Yes, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, he's just looking for a place to hide, being
Oh,
in
okay. Well, all right, and this is new.
shed. I mean,
Never,
you can
never
always,
cuddled with a snake before. Holy
you can always pass it back.
It's okay. I think I'm okay. This
Okay.
is just, wow.
But yeah.
Oh my. Is he gonna be upset if I'm a little nervous? Is that
No,
scary?
he'll be okay.
I owe you because my hedgehog peed on you. Oh! Oh! Oh, Blaise, this is a lot for.
You can always put him on the table too.
Okay.
Um,
I think we're okay. Oh,
yeah,
my.
he's just gonna hide in a dark place. So there you go. But yeah, as far as
Woo.
enclosures, he'll want something much bigger than this. And he uses all the space in it. And then temperatures is another important thing with ball pythons because you don't want them to be too hot or too cold. They're cold-blooded, so they need an external source of heat. So that's where I use things Like this is a
I
hygrometer
think he's
and
cold.
a
Should I
thermometer.
put him back some?
I mean, it's okay.
Okay.
He just wants to cuddle with you.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I use
You're
little
very
hygrometers
very
and thermometers.
sweet. Very friendly.
Yeah, he is. He likes to just hang out. And then I use like thermometers and thermostats, stuff like that. I use heat mats under his enclosure.
Oh,
And
okay.
this keeps it warm from underneath so he can just get belly heat. That's very important for them. And then I use a lamp from above too with a ceramic heat emitter.
Sure.
I think you use that for Zoe.
Yep. Now, can you set these to a certain temperature? Are they pretty reliable?
Yeah, so with these, they do have a little like kind of temperature gauge here, but I use a thermostat with them. That way I can just program it, plug this into the thermostat, and I don't have any fear that it's going to burn him or
Okay.
get too hot or melt anything. So yeah, thermostats are very important to use with heat mats
Yeah.
and heat lamps.
I've thought about getting those before.
A lot of people don't use the thermostats,
Mhm.
and that's when accidents happen and belly scales get burned, and
Mhm.
so that's too bad.
Yeah, so you
But-
really, I mean, the heat things are very important
Mhm.
with, you know, cold-blooded animals or hedgehogs or,
Right.
or any type of animal. You gotta be really careful and research and use them correctly.
Yeah, and find reputable like stores
Yes.
too with this. I got this off of Amazon, and it's nice because it's removable. A lot of them will have kind of an adhesive coating to stick up under the tank. Those are nice.
Mhm.
And ZoomEd's a great brand.
Yep.
I used to get those.
Yeah, you don't want to
This
get a
is
knockoff
P-Sandy.
cheap, you know, brand that's.
Yeah, those are more unpredictable.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you can also get the hygrometers. Those are important for
Mhm.
humidity for when they shed, because you want them to have a nice long shed like this, where it's one piece, it's continuous, there's no like major rips. When I first got him, I didn't know how to do humidity like
Mhm.
correctly to keep it proper. And so he had pieces of shed everywhere, and it wasn't comfortable for him.
Mhm.
It wasn't gonna kill him, but it wasn't very comfortable.
Right.
And then I got hygrometers, I figured out a little humidity box,
Mhm.
and everything was great with the sheds after that.
How did you name him Blaise? Is there a reason?
I was kind of thinking about going with something Harry Potter in the beginning,
Mhm.
and then I saw him, and I was like, you know, you're so bright, you're a firefly morph, and Blaise to me just kind of stuck and came in my
Mhm.
head. I had just watched like the 7th Harry Potter movie, and it was just stuck in my head.
Mhm.
And after a while, it felt perfect. But yeah, so that's very important, like the hygrometer and the thermostats and everything. And then you can also learn a lot with their sheds because reptiles actually never stop growing. They do slow down after a couple years. Blaise will get to be about 3 to 5 feet. Females are on the larger end because that's just kind of how it works with a lot of species of snakes. And so he'll be about 4 feet, 4.5 feet.
How old is he now?
He's about a year old.
Okay.
He actually turned a year on August 9th. So his birthday was not too long ago. But yeah, and then the other important thing is to keep an eye on their enclosure. Like he started out in a 10-gallon, he quickly outgrew that. I had to move him to a 20-gallon. You want to make sure they don't outgrow like their water bowls, because they want to be able to curl up in it if they need it for shedding, so they can use this. You want to make sure that they have their hides so that they feel secure. Otherwise, it's not going to be a very happy ball python if they don't have a
And he
place
can
to hide.
fit in that?
Yes, surprisingly, he can wind himself up in a little ball.
Really?
That's where he gets his name, and he'll
Wow.
come in this, and he'll sleep in this all day, and then come out at night and cuddle.
Wow.
But I also like to add a lot of plants like this. You can do fake plants, you can do real plants. It's whatever is easiest for you to take care of. I personally like these and just little enrichment things and other opportunities
Do
for
they
him to hide.
play with like toys or any? Is there any kind of toy that they'll play with or no?
Not really. I mean, he has a stick that he likes to crawl up on, and he'll bang it against the side of his tank if he wants attention or food. So he kind of got me trained that way. But no, they don't really play with anything like the plants and stuff. They like to kind of hide under.
Right.
He'll push his head through this, so you can only see like his eyes sticking out, and if I look at him, he'll shoot back and it'll close around him. So he'll kind of spy on me that way, but
Yeah.
yeah, not so much for toys. But
What
yeah,
about food?
food, so that is different because some people feed rodents that are alive, which I personally don't. There's just a lot of risks with that because he could be injured. It's not very humane. You can just get frozen thawed ones. Like I feed him rats that have passed away from like old age, stuff like that. That way I'm recycling and I'm not just taking. Because I love small animals. I like keeping them as pets. You can balance out your love for them, and if you want to have a snake and still have like small mammals, there are actually snakes that eat eggs that you can grab. You can get an African egg-eating snake, and they just eat eggs. That's their whole diet. There's colubrids like garter snakes, water snakes, ribbon snakes. They just kind of get fish. They can eat rodents, but they stick more to like frogs and aquatic prey, stuff like that. So that you don't always have to go the rodent route.
Yeah.
So you can figure out ways around that. But also another thing is when you're feeding, you have to be careful. I use long tweezers and they're tongs, and I just kind of dangle it in front of them. That way I don't get bit, and because he's never bitten me or anybody else, but if they have a strong feeding response, or they have, like if he's in shed, so he can't see very well. So if he had like a really bad aim or something and he accidentally got my hand, that would be bad. So that
So
I
you
can
can't
avoid
just
it.
put it in the container and then have them find it?
Sometimes they do, but the problem is bedding will stick to it.
Oh.
Or their substrate will stick, and then they're
they'll eat
eating
it.
that. And I don't really want to take a chance on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of do the tongs, and it's safer for
Sure.
everybody. But
So
yeah.
so if you have a pet, you have to be able to feed them like that too. I mean,
Right.
it's, you know, it's a pet that's maybe not for everybody, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and there are definitely a lot of plus sides to having a snake. I mean, he likes to cuddle.
Well, yeah.
He's very affectionate when he wants to be. I mean, it's not like he hides out in this all day, every day. He
How
does
much
come out at
time
night.
do you take them out a day?
I typically spend 2 to 3 hours with them. It's mainly at night because I'm a night owl.
Right.
I can't sleep unless it's during the day. So getting him was perfect for me because it matched my sleep cycle. I was able to work on homework with him around my neck or just kind of hanging out. So he was actually a great pet for me to get. It's definitely not for everybody.
Do you think a snake would be okay if it wasn't taken out, or do you think that would be...
I think that they would be okay. I think that they should be taken out. I mean, at least maybe once or twice a week just to get them sociable. Otherwise, they might develop kind of biting issues or things like that. I know Blaise is very affectionate, but maybe if I had a shy ball python, I'd only take them out once or twice a week just to make sure that they're comfortable, which that's the most important thing. They're pretty and they're great to look at, but as long as they're comfortable, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at how just relaxed he is.
Yeah.
You did say he was kind of like a puppy.
Yeah, he is. He just likes to hang out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of all I really have for demonstrations and with him. An important reminder though is that Blaise is a pet. He was bred as a pet and sold as a pet. So with wild snakes that you see out in your lawn or stuff like that, don't pick them up. I mean, everybody knows that, but you see them, and I know when I was little, I always wanted to pick them up. What my mom and I did was we'd stand back and we'd watch the snake go about its business, so that way we could still see it and it wouldn't get stressed out. Because especially with like venomous snakes, they don't want to bite you, but if they get stressed, then they're gonna bite, and that can be pretty harmful to the snake and to you. A good rule of thumb is that anything with the mouth
teeth.
can bite.
Yeah, or mouth,
So that's what I always just kind of kept in mind. But yeah, I mean, pet snakes are great. Wild snakes, you just got to be a little more cautious, respect them.
So if somebody wanted to get a snake, how would you recommend that they go about looking to find one?
So I got one off of morphmarket.com. That's where I got him. I got him from Showcase Serpents, I think was the breeder's name. They were great people. All you really do is they have ads up on tons of reptile sites. There's a great place, Reptile Rapture in Madison, that I've looked at all different types of snakes. They have a picture up and they've got like the morph, the price. He was $125. And then you have to take an account of shipping too. That was about $65. which isn't overall too bad, but
No.
these guys can be $50, they can be $8,000.
Yeah.
They can go.
But you want to be
pretty
careful
far.
where you get it from, because people
Right.
sometimes are trying to rehome or get rid of it, and you want to be careful because there's no guarantee to what their health is
Mhm.
or.
And there
or
are a
what the
lot of ball
problems are.
pythons. Like I looked at Craigslist at first, and just the snakes that I saw were very
Mhm.
thin and frail, and it was obvious they had some sort of eating thing.
Mhm.
Because ball pythons are notoriously picky. Thankfully, he ate after a few months for me. But yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you
you
gotta be
gotta wait.
careful where you get them from.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep in mind he's a pet. You can
Mhm.
always get him off of websites. There are tons of snakes that could use great homes or rescue humane societies. But yeah, that's kind of all I have.
He's giving
And-
kisses.
yeah.
All
but
right.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed.
Yep.